Welcome to the channel, viewers. When you get into sport and you take it seriously and you try and, have a great experience, that's my ute, for those that don't know. You try and produce the best experience that you can for yourself and be an example for the people around you. You've got to do the work. You've got to do the work outside the sport, like the preliminary training, the diet, eating well, exercise outside the hobby or the sport. I do hydrofoil winging. There's the hydrofoil. Just come in. It was a bit scary out there on my own, I'll be honest, but fear, when I used to be a surfer, I used to paddle out on my own all the time. How I survived, thank God for his graciousness that his creation never attacked me at that point anyway. Sit out in the ocean all on your own just for the adrenaline, to get good waves and have that sense of trying to be someone. I got a lot of identity out of sport and work, and it's important. You have to eat right, sleep right, get your relationship right. I had a terrible accident. That was from a kiting accident. I got taken 5 meters up into the air and 25 meters across an oval after covert narcissistic wife made arrangements and just did not turn up, which caused tremendous confusion as to why. Anyway, there was no reason why. It's what happens when you marry someone that's faking it, as it were. And that's been 5 years in May. I don't think it'll ever be right. I suffered terribly today at work. Not complaining, just saying the consequences of getting involved with the wrong person can be dire, can be really, really bad. And you want to be very careful who you get tied up with, because when you're doing extreme sports where you're out with, in life-threatening situations, and you could be attacked by a shark at any minute, or cut by a foil, pull a shoulder, dislocate a shoulder or a knee, ankle, anything like that. You go at tremendous speeds. You have to be on your game. You have to have the right person in your life so that there is no silliness or stupidity or anxiety and stuff that can come with unhealthy relationships. And you learn as you go that these things can happen, and they will happen if they can. It's not something that you wish on anybody, but it brought back to me, the importance of trying to be with the person that's right for you. Going back, the last relationship, we had hostile family members, which just, I don't know what was going on there. Went on and on and on. In the end, I gave in for the benefit of her and her family members, and most of all myself. I think I had some kind of breakdown and trauma as a result of it, and that wasn't good for anyone. I think that there was trauma going on with them as well. It just wasn't a good match. I guess I wanted to try and build a proper relationship as usual, but it just wasn't going to be a possibility for her given the circumstances she was in, just with dependence and that kind of thing. And that was fair enough. She had to go with where her security was. She put in a good effort for what she was dealt. I'm not taking that away from her, but circumstances betrayed her, and all of us. It was betrayal trauma in the end, via just a disgruntled, selfish family member. And let's call it what it was. There was jealousy, conceit, despite, just total blackout, you know. And she tried, and that was sad to watch somebody, you know, making the effort but just not going to be able to get it over the line. And that hurts too, because then you got to go through the rumination, the separation, and you move on. You do it properly. You do it all properly, and you be honest. You give closure. I gave closure by letters and texts, and never heard from her again, and that's fair enough. You can't have your cake and eat it too. That's all there is to it. And this is beautiful here this afternoon. Absolutely brilliant. It was sensational out there. I got a little bit spooked on my own. The wind did drop, so I come straight in. And when you've got to be aware of conditions. Like if your relationship's starting to drop, you try and make adjustments for it to stay steady. If those matters of resolved aren't sorted, then you end up in a situation where there's going to be conflict. Conflict always results in some kind of breakdown. Breakdown results in trauma. And resolve's not that hard. It comes down to value. If the person values the relationship, they'll do something about it. But then you've got these triangulated situations where people they have people dwelling in the same house which gives them an element of authority, but at the same token I don't think they should be able to ban people from seeing their partner. If the wife's silly enough to allow, or the woman's silly enough to allow that to happen, then that's on her, I suppose. I would never allow my children to get me in that situation, no matter what the circumstances were. And they wouldn't do that to me anyway. They're different kettle of fish. But these are the things you can come up against. I'm at a stage where I really don't want to mix with people's children after what I've seen. There's too much stuff that's not been done, that's not been developed in their lives, and then I'll come along and I've lived a pretty hard life. Did the decades of sacrifice and the decades of discipline, went without for decades, not just weeks, not just hours, decades, and accumulated at least something to leave behind. I'm going to have to be very careful how that gets used too. I'm keeping a very close eye on who's going to be getting that. But yeah, these are the things that challenge us and jump out at us. Relationships have to be maintained and sustained. I just don't think being quiet about everything's going to help anything. It's definitely not going to fix anything. Sometimes a map, when it's red, you have to speak. Turn left, turn right. There's a crossing coming up ahead. The nav man might tell you that there's, traffic. There's communication. But when people self-medicate and take alcohol and resort to these kind of mind-altering things, that can be very difficult on the partner because the partner's not in the same state. So if the person's checked out through through chemicals and they've stopped communicating, or the communicating's gotten less or worse or drizzled away, it just leaves you in a state of unsurety and doubt, because you don't know. You can guess by experience what you think is going on, but you don't know what's going on because you're not behind the scenes. You're not behind the scenes where these things happen, where the communication's going on between family members and whatever's being said about you behind your back. I'm one that will think and consider things and talk about things and listen. I love to listen. They say all quiet on the Western Front's good, but it's not when war breaks out. And, you know, sometimes you wish things were different, but if they're not, they're not, and there's nothing you can do about it. It is what it is. And everybody pays a price. What you got to do is stop and ask yourself, what caused that to happen this time? Well, interference again. You've got to protect the privacy of your relationship. People won't tolerate interferers. People won't tolerate people that are trying to run the relationship from behind the scenes. A relationship requires, it absolutely requires privacy. And if that privacy is violated, then it's just a matter of tolerance after that. How long people can tolerate the violation, the intrusion. Because intrusion's a violation of privacy. Violation of privacy is going to cause sense of invasion, which brings a sense of doubt, which brings a sense of your back isn't covered by your partner, which then brings a sense of I need to get out of this because it's not healthy. Particularly if the situation's minor and the person's not covering the issue. Everything comes back to unresolved. Everything comes back to unresolved and resolve. Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, out.